Welcome to Humans of Vanlife, the most raw, authentic, and diverse podcast from the road.
Not everybody has the chance to survive. Not everybody has a chance to make it. Not everybody has the chance to do what they want. Not everybody has the ability. Some people, you won't stay alive past 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, because of the circumstances that they're in. Luckily, I'm fortunate, so yes, I have the ability to give anything I want a shot. I'll say that. I think if you go up one level, I think you're an adventurer. A lot of younger people are going through life's journeys. They're in a huge growth spurt. They're challenging themselves. They're pushing themselves in relationships and partnership, in trial and tribulation, right? I think by calling it van life, or I think you do limit people. At least you do limit the connection to the rest of society by just thinking that this is about vans. Hence why the only people that we've hung out with over the past 4 weeks at camping trips have been in vans. But there's motorcycle communities out there that are also adventurists, and their mode of transportation just happens to be motorcycles, but they also camp next to rivers and everything as well. There's people that are in the overlanding community, right? There's hitchhikers. So I think what would be really interesting is to try to come up with a group or try to reach all adventurers, no matter what the mode of transportation is. And then to be a little bit more inclusive in that. But it's not human nature to do that. It's human nature to connect with people that are like you. So you're in a brown Westphalia. There's other people that are in the same thing. So you guys break down the same way. You go through the same stuff. So there's an instant connection there, right? Versus if I came on a motorcycle, we wouldn't have that immediate connection, even though there'd be an adventure connection. There'd be a trial and tribulation connection. There'd be a trauma connection. There'd be this and that, right? But yeah, I do think it is exclusive, and perhaps by design. I don't know. I would estimate to say that the majority of us have a home, parents, uncles, aunts, some sort of a support system that if we fail on the road, that we can fall back on. Most of us do, I would feel like. And that, even just that little level of comfort is enough to make you push your limits, or go beyond your limits, to find out where you fail, right? Because you always have something to fall back on. If you have nowhere to fall back on, it's so much tougher for people that don't have that to really push their boundaries, to fail miserably, either physically, emotionally, etc. And that's why I think it's homogenous in that way. I think most of us probably have some sort of backing, not financially, not anything else, but at least you can go back somewhere and say, okay, hey, I screwed up. I can start over here. This is a safe place. That's my assumption.
So is there anything wrong with that?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. And everybody's incredibly fortunate to do that. But I do think it adds homogeneity in the group, in the sense that everybody has that connection. So there's not a lot of differences in the group from that standpoint.
How have you come to be so open and willing with your emotions? And/or are you? Because to me you are. Yeah. To me you are quite tuned in, actually. You're very sensitive, emotional. Like, we connect on that level. Like, I meet you there, and that feels so good.
Sure. To me, it was through trauma. Just to be brutally honest, yeah, it's through trauma. I think when you hit rock bottom in a place, and you realize that you don't want to stay there and you can't stay there, and you finally accept that you're there of some sort, you're more cognizant of the space that you're in, of space being headspace, of an emotional space, happy, sad, demoralized, destroyed, or other. I think once I was forced to recognize it. It wasn't something that just kind of stumbled upon one day, right? I saw some stuff in Africa, and that changed my life forever until this day, and I'm sure it will the rest of my life. And I hit rock bottom, and it took me a long time and 2 failed relationships and a lot of anger and irritability and depression and sleepless nights and insomnia and alcohol and everything else involved to finally accept the fact that I wasn't who I wanted to be. And in order to do that, it takes a lot of work to understand why you're not the way you are and why you're not accepting it. You know, oh, I don't have PTSD. No, I'm not unhappy. But to me, I was forced to. I had no choice. It was either that or death. There were 2 options.
If you like this podcast and want to support it, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen. It truly helps. Thanks a lot.